Timber. Most poultry farmers in the recent past have been having these various problems when they are raising their poultry flock. They realized they have this sudden death on their poultry farms, and they really don't know the main cause of these problems. Little do they know that maybe they are the real cause of these problems that are attacking their poultry farms. In poultry farming, you have to be able to alleviate death. If you're able to alleviate death or any cases of mortality, as we say it in the scientific terms, you will be able to get a lot of money in this venture. My main essence of this video is that I should be able to teach you something whereby you will be able to start a profitable and sustainable poultry farming business. I want you to be able to get a lot of money out of this venture. I don't want you only to do poultry farming as a cause of entertainment. I want you to do poultry farming as something that will be able to generate revenue for you and make your life sustainable, and also give you some revenue so as it can be able to improve your life as a whole. Most poultry farmers have this very big problem that is arising on their farm. They are using a lot of these medications. What am I saying? Most of these poultry farmers are using a lot of antibiotics. This will lead to high resistance of the birds to the antibiotics. Why am I saying this? This will lead to diseases having high resistance to the antibiotic that will be administered to the birds. We want to be able to prevent any cases of deaths in these poultry farms. What should I usually do? I usually tell people the best way that you can be able to control. If you want to, for example, to be able to enhance growth on your poultry farm, make sure that you're using the herbal ways of which you can be able to increase the growth on your poultry farm. Don't use the antibiotics in increasing growth on your poultry farm. Because if you use the antibiotics in increasing growth on your poultry farm, this may lead to whereby a certain bacterial disease can attack your poultry farm, and you end up buying that kind of antibiotic that has that some element or component that you are using as a growth promoter to be able to remove that kind of disease from your poultry farm, and yet it won't be able to remove that disease from your poultry farm completely. You may end up getting a lot of losses, and also you're using a lot of money in the purchase of antibiotics. That's why I usually say the best way, if you can do it, is use of the organic poultry farming method. If you're able to use the organic poultry farming method, then you'll be able to save a lot of money in the purchase of the antibiotic, and also you'll be able to save a lot of money because what are you doing? You're getting all the plants like this one. You're getting like all the plants or all the herbal medication from the trees. So you won't be able to waste a lot of money because this one you get it all from your garden. So the best thing I have to tell you as a farmer, if you're a poultry farmer, these are some of the 5 or 6 herbal plants that you must have on your poultry farm. Just make sure that you have a small garden whereby you can be able to plant these plants. If you're able to plant these plants, then you'll be able to prevent such cases of antibiotic resistance on your poultry farm. These kinds of herbal medication, they will be able to prevent some diseases from attacking your poultry farm or your poultry. So as you know, when you are able to prevent diseases from attacking your poultry farm, then you'll be able to make some money out of it because you won't waste a lot of money in the purchase of medication. I keep on repeating that thing. So it's just way simple. First of all, just make sure that you have made your small garden whereby you want to grow these plants. The first plant that you need to grow is that you have to grow the garlic. Garlic has one of the best antimicrobial, it has one of the best antifungal, it has one of the best properties of antiviral. So it will be able to prevent some certain cases of diseases from attacking your poultry farm, and that is what we want to avoid. Okay, that is the first plant that you have to plant. If you can't be able to plant garlic is so easy to plant. You have to just to take the bulbs of it, then you split it, then you'll be able just to plant it. It doesn't have a seed. So that is the first way of how you can be able to plant garlic on your poultry farm so as it can be able to prevent some cases of diseases. And what you have to do, you have to mix garlic plus lemon juice and ginger. I've already told you 3 plants that you need to plant on your poultry farm. Maybe for planting for the lemons, it may take a little while, but if you have garlic, lemon and ginger, and then you mix it together and give it like once per week to your poultry birds, then it will be able to prevent a lot of diseases from attacking your poultry farm, and also it will be able to enhance growth on your poultry farm. We want your chicken to be able to grow at a very fast rate. That's why I'm telling you have to mix the 3 and give to your chicken each and every week. Let's say you're giving to a chicken every Saturday. Okay, most farmers usually tell me that these things, you can't gamble with your flock or your investment by the use of organic products. I want to tell you something. Our older parents, our grandmothers and our grandfathers, they reared organic chicken using that way. And even when you go to the United States of America, you end up finding out that the organic chicken, they're like, even I don't know. I saw somewhere whereby they were selling these other chicken at around I don't know, $4, and then I saw an organic chicken was going at around 5 times the price, around $20 US. I don't know if that is very true, but if you're in the United States of America, make sure you confirm down below. So that's why I keep on insisting that you have to be able to rear your chicken organically, because if you're able to rear your chicken organically, maybe here in Kenya it hasn't picked up that well, but if you start like rearing your birds in an organic way, then you'll be able just to capture your own market and maybe sell your products at triple the price of the local market price. So that will be able to also help you as a farmer to be able to get a lot of money out of this venture. I'm telling you tips that nobody else will ever tell you. So if you have reached the point of this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I have already told you three plants that you have to plant on your poultry farm. The first one I've told you is the garlic, the second one is the ginger, and the third one is the lemon. But lemon, you can either just buy it if it is so hard for you to plant it. Okay, then let's head to the fourth plant that you need to plant on your poultry farm so as you can be able to prevent a lot of diseases. The aloe vera. The aloe vera is one of the most magical plants that any poultry farmer can have on their poultry farm. If you are able to plant aloe vera and you're also able just to give it, maybe you have given your garlic on Sunday, then you decide to give aloe vera on Wednesday. Every week, if you're able to do that, then you'll be able to prevent a lot of diseases from attacking your poultry farm. Because also, the aloe vera has the antimicrobial, it has the antifungal, it has the anti-inflammation, antiviral properties. So you'll be able to prevent a lot of diseases from attacking your flock. And also it will be able to enhance growth. Okay, as you can see it. I've posted a video of the benefits of aloe vera to your plants. So make sure I have put it the link up here, so make sure you click it so as you can be able to watch that full video. If you're able to watch that full video, then you'll get the nitty-gritties of how you can be able to use the organic plant so as you can be able to prevent some diseases and enhance growth on your poultry farm. Most of our grandmothers, I was telling this story, then I went afloat. Most of our grandparents were using the organic plants to be able to treat the diseases, but just due to modernization and urbanization, most of us moved away from our grandmothers and our grandfathers, so we never got the real deal of how they were using the other plants to be able, and the type of plants and the type of herbs that they were using to treat this kind of diseases in the poultry flock. And that's why you end up finding out that in the old days, the only problem is that the biggest disease that was attacking poultry farms was Newcastle disease. But according to me, what I did, I realized that when I did the mixture of the three, I think I've posted a video of how you can be able to treat Newcastle disease. I did it on my poultry farm and I realized that you can be able to control that disease. It only depends with the antibodies of the chicken. Now that depends with the feed that you're giving to your chicken. If it has high nutrition, then the antibodies of the chicken will become more strong and it will be able to fight the virus. So that's how you can be able to treat the Newcastle disease, by the use of herbal medicine. Because if you try to use these other medicines that are found in the shop or the agrovet, you won't be able to treat Newcastle disease on your poultry farm if you haven't vaccinated your birds. So I realized that you can be able to prevent and treat Newcastle disease. Yes, it is a virus, yes, but you can be able to treat it and cure it. That is what I realized. Another plant that a poultry farmer should need on their poultry farm is known as the Carica papaya, the pawpaw. The pawpaw is one of the best plants that you have to plant on your poultry farm. What I realized is that my poultry was suffering from this common cold a lot of the times. They were sneezing and coughing most of the times. What I did, I crushed the pawpaw leaves and I was able to squeeze that juice and give it to my chicken once per week. All this medication, that's the benefit of it. Or you can decide just to give it like 7 days in a row and you can be able to eliminate that kind of problem on your poultry farm. So what I realized is that if you're able to crush the leaves of the pawpaw tree and give it to your chicken, then you'll be able to eliminate the cough on your poultry farm. The alternative to that is by the use of the antibiotic, whereby you decide to use the thylacine and doxycycline, so as you can be able to treat the cough on your poultry farm. But we have the herbal way of how you can be able to treat that. But you know, most of these big pharma, of these people that are selling this kind of medicine, they don't want you to know such cases. They will tell you that if you are going to use the herbal medicine, you will be risking your investment with a lot of money and you will not be serious with what you are doing. But I'm telling you, I have done it on my poultry farm. I'm not saying these things from the blues. I'm not selling to you anything. These things are there. So if you plant it, then you'll be able to help yourself out. I'm not benefiting anything from it. So why would I lie to you? So if it has been able to help me out, why shouldn't I share it with you? So the only thing I could say is that you should just like and subscribe to the channel and share my videos to most people, so as I can be able to also grow and get some small money from YouTube. That's the only way that I can benefit from this video. So that is it. If you're able to plant the purple leaves, then you'll be able to eliminate any cases of coughs on your poultry farm and any cases of some kind of pneumonia on your poultry farm. That is another benefit of you using the purple leaves in your poultry. Okay, this is not a plant, but it's something that you should be able to make for your poultry. There's a video whereby I posted where can you be able to make probiotics. What are probiotics? Probiotics are whereby you introduce the best kind of bacteria into the chicken gut, so as it can be able to fight the bad bacteria in the chicken gut. Okay, so if you're introducing the good bacteria in the chicken gut, what are some kind of the good bacteria in the chicken gut? We have one of the best bacteria in the chicken gut. It's known as the lactobacillus. This is one of the best bacteria in the chicken gut, and it will be able to help the growth of your chicken. These probiotics are made in this way. You have to use the brown rice and you have to mix it in water, whereby it will be able to ferment for like 7 days, or it can stay as long as you want it. You know, when people usually drink beer, they usually say the older the wine, the better the taste. So that is it. So the more it gets to ferment, the better it will become. So what you have to do, you have to use the natural yogurt, you have to mix it with water, you have to use also the brown rice, whereby you wash it in that water, and you will be able to make the probiotics. That's the only easiest way of how you can be able to make it. And the other way of how you can be able to preserve it is by the use of vinegar. You have to be able to use apple cider vinegar, so as you can be able to prevent it. Make sure that you're using the apple cider vinegar that has the mother in it. I know there's a company out there that usually makes that one. There's only one company. I know you know it. I won't mention the name. Or should I just mention the name? Okay. The company is known as Bragg. So if you are able to get those components, then you can be able to make your probiotics for your birds. I'll illustrate a video. I'll try to illustrate it the second time, but there's a video of how you can be able to make probiotics for your poultry, so as you can be able to prevent any cases of antibiotic resistance, because the probiotic will help to enhance growth on your poultry farm. We only want those things that we on our poultry farm. We don't want so many things that you are giving to your birds and they will later harm you. Okay, also some other things that can cause problems on your poultry farm: the antibiotic resistance, whereby you have this cross contamination, whereby you can get a lot of diseases from the feed. Most poultry farmers, they are not so keen with the feeds. Maybe they have reached a time in life whereby you find out that the cost of feed is too high, and they decide to formulate their own feeds. So in their decision to formulate their own feeds, they end up making these kind of feeds whereby they purchase the ingredients from people that they're not so keen about, and they end up buying ingredients that has a lot of aflatoxins and some microbial patches diseases in it. And when they go and formulate their own feeds on their own, give it to their chicken end up getting a lot of problems. So make sure when you're purchasing these feed ingredients, so as you can be able to formulate your own feeds, make sure that you are purchasing them from someone that is clean and has observed the high levels of biosecurity whereby they are storing their feeds. You just don't go and purchase a feed in a store that is not so well structured, is not well ventilated. You end up finding that some rain, when it rains, rain can get inside and it can make the feed contain some molds that can really lead to problems on your poultry farm. You don't want chicken to eat molds, because when the chicken eat molds, it will go and destroy the kidneys and even the liver of the chicken. We don't want that to happen on our poultry farm. So that's why you are still here. So if you have watched this video up to this point, you know the type of herbs that you have to use on your poultry farm, so as you can be able to prevent these problems. This video was just a rough idea of the bigger problems that most poultry farmers usually encounter. You know, I usually talk about the feed so much, and I told you can be able to make the feeds by the use of a concentrate, and also you can also just purchase the feed from people who usually manufacture the feeds, the companies that are licensed. Then you'll be able to save a lot. And also you can be able to purchase feeds from animal feed people, but only make sure that you're purchasing feed from someone who has observed that biosecurity measures, because you can end up finding that they are shelling their maize, the maize is falling into the ground is not clean, people are getting in and out, those people have maybe their own poultry farms, and that can lead to cross-contamination of diseases from that place to your farm. So you may end up getting that when you're feeding your chicken that kind of feed, you're treating that kind of disease, and yet the bacteria is still in the feed. So you'll be just wasting a lot of money in the purchase of the antibiotics, but the real cost is just the feed that you have purchased from locally. So you have to be really keen. You know, poultry farming, people usually just take it lightly, but if you want to do it commercially, as I said, in 2025 we are starting with 1,000 to 5,000 birds. We are not joking around. So you really have to make sure that you are following the right procedures and everything to the latter. If you're following everything as I have said, then you'll call yourself, I usually say it, the master of poultry farming. Remember, we usually sell high quality day-old chicks, so don't dill-dall around. Give us an order and you'll be able to serve you with the best quality chicks. If you're able to serve you with one of the best quality chicks, then you'll be only yourself who is hindering yourself from becoming successful in the poultry farming sector, because we'll sell to you chicks, we'll give you consultation services, and what will you be waiting for? Making money. And we want you to make money. I shall just talk about making money. Okay, yes. Maybe some people usually do poultry farming for therapy. Okay, I don't do it for therapy. I'm a youth, I have to raise a family. I'm doing it for money. So you have to do it for money. Do some ornamental for therapy. The rich people do it for therapy. We, the normal people, we do it for the moolah, the dollars. So like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Simba. Simba, 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 Simba. Simba, 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 Simba.